All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. I'm DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, and I'm just making sure I'm live on all the things, and it looks like I am. How's it going, everyone? I'm on Wayfinder here today, going to be just kind of running the news stuff on a fairly quick-rolled level 15 bard here with some fine folks here on Wayfinder. Talk a little bit about the latest news, do a little Q&A, and overall just kind of sit back and have some fun here today. That's about it. I don't know. What else is there to really say? I think I'm good. All right, let me just double-check where we were. I believe we are... Well, let me actually see what quest we're on, unless you guys happen to know. Let's see, what else could I mention? Overall, we've got a patch in the works for next week. Potentially, stay tuned for more information on that, but the intention is to release a patch, most likely, first half-ish of next week. That'll include a couple of bug fixes and things like that, but predominantly behind the scenes, it'll include all the new Night Revel stuff. And then our intention is to launch Night Revels basically a week from tomorrow. So that would be starting on October 10th, and then most likely running through the first weekend in November, really. We do this one for quite a while. It's not there's new stuff this year. We have one new challenge quest and a new colored kind of Night Revels cosmetic armor. We also have a couple of new items. The item list is maybe a little on the smaller side just due to pressing concerns of other things that happen to be going on. Ooh, I'll take that. But nonetheless, there are a few new things. I don't know if I want to spill the beans on that, though, at the moment, as I actually think people will find it pretty exciting. And I would prefer that you not be excited by little old me in the live stream talking about it, but rather that you would see it for yourself and be like, oh, that's sweet. Uh-oh. No sound? Perhaps no game sound, or no... Hello, everyone over on Facebook as well. Hope you're having a good time. Okay, good. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, Shu, I actually cut off that, quote, loud instrumental because it was, although in volume actually not that bad, compared to what I usually go, which is a little bit on the lower side of the volume scale, a bit on the loud side.
The Underlane neighborhood should be in this area. With luck, you can find the rally before anyone gets hurt.
So that's, I guess, really the big news is Night Revels probably next week. That's a thing. That should be really cool, though. And it's nice that, a lot of it is content dependent, right? So whether or not it starts maybe kind of first half of October or kind of the middle half October or whatever has varied a little bit year over year. But it's looking good for next week here.
The locals eye you curiously as you round the corner into the streets of Underlane.
I mean, I can just tell you, but I don't want to do that because that doesn't seem right. If you are interested in this kind of thing, I happen to, this Sunday, have an opportunity to sit down with Patrick from DDO Cast, kind of reminiscing a little bit about 10 years of DDO going free to play, because this is, early September is the decade mark since DDO initially transitioned from a core subscription model to a free to play model. And I was around back in the day, although I was not employed by Turbine. And we had an opportunity to discuss a little bit about what it was like and all that this weekend. And so since, 10 years is a long time, I have come to learn that there's a whole bunch of people who probably weren't around then. Don't even really know what was up. So if you're curious about that kind of thing, maybe you want to check out DDO Cast this week.
Sunlight pours through a crystal set into the base of a hanging tower, providing much-needed light to a small garden set into the street below.
Yep, new Night Revels quest this year, and that one I know for a fact I'm not going to be spilling the beans on, because I would never want to do that for the Night Revels event. Half the fun of these Night Revels events is kind of the element of surprise that they tend to contain. Which quest are we going to choose and what are we going to do with it? And I think this year's might be particularly inspired. Actually, I'm not going to say that because I think every year is inspired. I love Night Revels. And if I had an opportunity, I would totally pay the team to just constantly make Night Revels quests.
A group of ruffians is shaking down one of the local merchants. Their leader
What can I
turns in their
say?
direction and says,
Good question as to whether Night Revels will be available on the hardcore. We'll have to follow up on that. My belief... Actually, I don't even know. Well, that would have been nice to know before I went into the studio today, wouldn't it? I don't know on that one. I thought we said we weren't going to do any events, but... I don't see why we have to stick to that. So I don't really see why we wouldn't want to put it out there. I don't know. Yeah, new quest for Night Revels and a new Night Revels colored armor, like, we always do. I could, I guess, just tell you what the color is this year if you really want to know. Pro tip. It's basically what everyone asked for last year when we got done. If you remember last year's Night Revels, there was a very, at the very least, somewhat loud contingent of players who were like, for next year, could you please make it X color? And at the time, we were like, yeah, sure, why not? All right, if that's what you guys want. So, pro tip. That's what it's going to be. I've been playing on the Hardcore League lately, splitting my time between running the new quests on the regular servers and then running Hardcore League. I'm happy to say that despite what I said during DDO Cast this past weekend, I have so far survived the recording of the show, since the recording of the show, and my character, my best character so far on the Hardcore League. Just hit level 7. Level 7, folks. That's what I have now hit as of yesterday eve, running Shantou Core on hard.
Enters the courtyard. He grunts. Oh, you don't know who you're
And guess what I got? I got a full inventory. I have got What did I get yesterday? It's not the pale lavender Ion Stone, but I got the one of the other ones. So I now have an Ion Stone on my currently alive character on the hardcore league server, and I think that is pretty sweet.
You can't stop all of them. There are powerful people behind this. They'll never...
But he never finishes the sentence.
So far I've gotten, I think this will be my third character that hit level 6. And prior to this, I am sorry to report, because I suck, that I have yet to get beyond level 6 in the Hardcore League. But you can find out more about my frustration with that on DDO Cast as well if you want to, because Patrick is just like, oh yeah, we were just running R3 in the Demon's Den, and I was just like, you what? Yes, R3 in the Demon's Den, and here I am dying at level 6 in Waterworks, so, you know. Let me clear up some inventory space real quick. So, I don't know, maybe you guys have been part of the R3 running in the Demon's Den like ain't no big deal crowd, but that has not been my experience. I've been having a really fun time, however, on the Hardcore League, but like I say, I'm getting smarter every time, so eventually I will... My goal, I have 2 goals right at the moment. It is 1750 favor, level 20. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. And I need to do it by November 15th. I have opted, due to dying 5 times now, a whole bunch, that this time around I can achieve that goal as long as I don't waste time and put myself at unnecessary risk doing things like running things on Elite. What? You're not running things on Elite on the Hardcore League? Nope, not this life. I don't need to. If all I need to do is hit level 20 and 1750 favor, I don't need to run everything on Elite. As a matter of fact, I am far more likely to get the job done quickly if I don't. So, I have been in conjunction, in congruence with the name Hardcore League and running things on hard this league. Since my the number character died, and that's what I've been doing. So far, so good. I am alive, and I am level 7. Then, when I achieve that goal, then I move on to the next. So. Alright, thank you for waiting.
The club's butler regards you with a skeptical eye.
Jared
Clearly wondering what brought
KH3,
you here.
I recall the question about whether or not guild airships should have music came up years ago. And if I recall at the time, the intention was to opt to not doing much in the way of music on airships. Mostly due to people using it as kind of a social space, and just it would end up just kind of ultimately probably prove itself
Yeah, which do you guys
unwelcome eventually.
Because it's not the one we're on.
Oh,
We
sorry.
are in the
I just
club.
went to the top of the list here, so I guess I'm on, what, members only? Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
This club is using Soul Split Warforged as servants, though your contact doesn't know where the club obtained them. He suggests that you search the administration building in the back of the club. Surely you'll find a written record there.
Ah. No. That is exactly what we need to do. I love your idea, Fowler Robert, on Twitch. We need to do a Storm Reachified version of Love, Exciting and New. Yeah. And that's could be what plays on airships. Anyway, I can't believe that Patrick and crew are running R3 in the Demon's Den. I'm just sitting there going, you've got to be kidding. Alright, what are we doing? Not that. Where's everyone? There we go. And this is why I'm not a professional singer. You speak truth. Ah, I was whispering, Tyler. What color? I haven't said specifically what color. What I did, however, say was it'll be the color that everyone asked for last year. And I was being coy about that. And I also did say I could simply state that it will be... Put your fingers over yours if you care. Purple it is. Purple, folks. Purple.
The rats squeal in terror. You suddenly realize they're not running towards you. They're running away from something else.
That's cool. That's a lot of damage. Nice. Man, we're not even denting this thing yet. The Duke is gonna kick our behind unless I get myself in gear. Let's try to get a better placement here of the Duke here. I don't like where the Duke is sitting. It's kind of hard to hit. Yeah, bring it over here. Alright, now we're gonna get the job done. Cool. Placement. Fine peoples. Placement. That's why these things are here. I've got the calendar up, so let me just take a quick look at the calendar here. So starting tomorrow, we are going to be doing a 5% Reaper XP boost, and that'll be going through Sunday. That's our bonus days for this particular week, is a 5% Reaper XP boost. That kicks off tomorrow morning and runs through Sunday, getting shut off basically first thing Monday morning. Did I announce the Maybar dates? No. Just a kind of a quick nomenclature note. Maybar is the old name for the October-related event. In recent years, we transitioned away from Maybar to the Night Revels, which is similar in space, but very different in mechanics. And so the Night Revels, yes, will be kicking off. We currently have it scheduled to kick off a week from tomorrow. That would be October 10th, and run through November 3rd. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, basically a full 4 weekends here to, is that right? Yep, that's right. Full 4 weekends here to take advantage of the Night Revels event. And correct, the Reaper boost absolutely is not on the Hardcore League. None of the boosts like XP boosts, that kind of thing, has been. Oh no! Nice. I'm out of spell points. Did challenge bonus weekends line up for Night Rebels this year? I don't know. Let me see. Maybe. All right. Oh, that one seemed to work. There we go. Yay, my shrine. BT McLean, I would rarely want to make a prediction about what your in-game experience would be like were you to return after being frustrated with your previous in-game experience due to lag. But I'm tempted to say we're in a pretty good place right now, relatively. So perhaps, maybe, it's worth a shot?
You've entered the administration building.
Yeah.
Now, to search for the papers that show where the club obtained the Soul Split Warforged they're using as servants. Baxter notes your arrival with disdain. The administration building is reserved for club employees only. I'm afraid your disregard for club policies can no longer be tolerated. With that, the butler executes a crisp turn and attacks. You've caused a great deal of damage to club property, says Baxter sadly. I regret that you must pay the price. Baxter falls, a searching look in his eyes. You suspect that his last moments were spent wondering who would clean up the mess you've created. You're now free to search for evidence regarding the source of the Soul Split Warforged. The club purchased their servants from something called Fathom Endeavors. Armed with this knowledge, you can start tracing the Soul Split Warforged back to their source.
Cool. Oh no. Yeah, okay. That was a total mistake. Sure, I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah. I did preface all that stuff pretty seriously, people. Oh, I see how I got out of order, because I have to do Underlane now. Yeah, I just didn't speak to the right NPC. So, October is here. It is now October 2nd. And that means I'm getting ready to launch 2 of my annual charity drives that I do both on behalf of Standing Stone Games and the DDO and Lotro communities, in addition to just
now to find the people
historically being able to do some real good in the area. And so,
of the door suggest that
I think just due to my busy calendar, I'm not going to be able to launch things until next week. But I will be doing, again this year, both Extra Life and Movember. And so next week, I'll be launching the Extra Life stuff with a Team Standing Stone Games page and also a personal page. I will also be scheduling some kind of live stream Extra Life marathon for both games, probably. And sometime to take place in October, maybe early November, something like that. And then I'll be doing the same for Movember as well. So if you historically have chosen to donate to those charities, one of which benefits the Boston Children's Hospital and their important work there, and the other one benefits various organizations, charities, studies, and programs to help deal with treatment and support for prostate and related cancers. That'll be coming up again real soon. It is all tax deductible, so some people in the DDO and Lotro community have historically kind of said, well, you know, why not, right? This is when I do them. So if you want to, it has historically been very good for our charity partners, and they've gotten a lot out of it. Last year, we were able to raise more money for the Boston Children's Hospital through combined donations between the DDO and Lotro communities than any other organization in Extra Life. So we were the top fundraiser for the Boston Children's Hospital for last year's Extra Life campaign. And that supports a lot of really important work for sick kids, and the charity will, talk a little bit about
This
that
area seems
probably
to be a
during the
part
live
of the
stream.
city's
I'm not going to
massive
go into
water
that now.
purification
But
system.
just so that you know, we do a lot of good here, and it's kind of a time to get some goodies. Usually, if you've wanted to get a
Another
forum
group of
title, or
ruffians
maybe a
singles
forum
you out
avatar,
and heads your way.
or one of the pet rocks or something like that, this is a great opportunity to, frankly, donate a couple bucks and get some of those things. So, I'll have a lot more to say about it next Tuesday, I think, when I formally launch the Extra Life campaign for DDO and Lotro. But I wanted to give you a heads up because it is October 2nd, and some people are already kind of starting their work.
Frightened faces disappear from nearby windows as another band of ruffians calls you out. Someone's intent on stopping you.
And November will be basically an extension of what we've done for both games in recent years. So anyone who's been in the community for a couple of years probably knows the deal, and should not be too surprised by anything.
Okay, I found the hammer crest. I just need to get up there.
Excellent.
You enter the central tower of Underlane, only to find your path blocked by even more ruffians.
All this tech talk. Yeah, I have to admit, some of the tech spec talk is beyond me as well, frankly. Hey, thanks, Goose and Fox, for stopping by. Yeah, Night Revels is always a good time, and like I said, I think there's a particularly creative, or inspired, I guess I would say,
Thugs in ragged clothes and
Night
battered
Revels
armor
quest this
guard
year. I like
the
that.
central tower gate.
Gonna be good, I think.
Cries, "Don't let them get to the old South Fort!" But too late, for all of his comrades are dead.
Is there one over here? I can't remember which water one's got it in. Not this one. Okay. Nope. Oh yeah, right there. And we hit it. Yeah, I think so. Just because historically on Night Revels in particular, half the fun of the new quests is kind of seeing how we play with
Still
the
more thugs block the
holiday
passage out of the
and
central
the
tower
Night
area.
Revels season,
They
and
do
kind
love
of
their
play with an
bottlenecks.
existing quest. Because the historic structure, for those who aren't aware, is we take kind of classic older dungeons, kind of shorter experiences, typically that can make for fun little challenge quests, and then we night rebelsify them with all sorts of like pumpkins and undead and witches and all sorts of cool stuff. And I've really liked the conceit of this year's. I think it's pretty creepy.
This small house Kenneth work area looks like a good place to rest. This group looks far more determined to stop you. You must be getting close.
I don't know. So the event is not Ravenloft region specific. I don't actually know. That would be an interesting question for, I guess, perhaps some people other than myself about what our ability to actually tap into Ravenloft directly as a setting is for Night Revels. Because Night Revels, I believe, is based on basically an Eberron event focused on Maybar, right? So I don't know what the ability to actually do that is. Nothing to announce about a 64-bit client for DDO. Anyone who's been keeping an eye out will know that they're working on it for
the dank stench of
Lotro,
sewage fills the air.
and are making progress, but aren't there yet.
The pipe
It's
opens
in
up
beta.
into a massive catch basin. You can hear the distant echoes of movement. The air grows suddenly hot, and whispers fill the area. Floodwraith lets out a wail, and the refuse in the basin begins to stir.
Loud and epic shroud on time, is that a trick on purpose for people not to rush that? No. Ultimately, you know, the shroud's been around for quite some time. And when the quest completes, a lot is happening behind the scenes. And I believe it's the kind of brief pause that tends to historically happen at the end of the shroud is really simply due to the amount of stuff that's happening in the raid at that given time. I think what portals spawning and XP being calculated, and, you know, whatever, all sorts of other stuff. And I don't think it's really anything more than that. And I don't think that that's really a, say, ISP environment related issue. So I don't really think that that's the kind of thing that would likely be, quote, fixed, per se. I think it's just something people are going to have to live with. It's a quirk of the reality of the game world, I guess. Bruce Shepard, 1970s, specifically related to game performance in the Ravenloft tutorial. That is because that particular section tends to be a bit more taxing than many other parts of DDO, related specifically to all the mist and stuff that's going on there. So it's a little bit... I'm going to go back and use the shrine. It's a little bit related to that.
Give a little bit.
I am just currently level 15. This is an ASMR Scourge that I created a while back for some reason or other. And then when I went to Wayfinder last week, I had a group of people who were interested in running with me but didn't have epic level characters. And so being able to just run at level 15. And because these new quests are level 17, it's doable. That's really all I've got going on this Scourge. It's kind of a quick-rolled character. I don't really know, have much of a plan per se with it, so. Which is why I haven't done all the other related work. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hello, people. I'm going to take your crest. I have the crest of the sickle.
I got the arrow.
One of your friends is particularly interested in Paladin reinforcement. Do I have any news on that? I don't. I know that we have been, the hot topic on the forums for sure, and elsewhere as well has really been the relative power level of Inquisitive, and whether or not perhaps the development team should work on balance there a little bit. I've heard more about that than, say, returning to some kind of future work on Paladin. So I would not say never on that, but it's definitely not something that I have heard anything specifically about.
The door is sealed by 4 magical sockets, recently installed by the looks of them. Perhaps you can find their crests back in the Underlane neighborhood.
Yeah, I do think there is some plans to do a little work on Knight of the Chalice. I don't have a specific ETA on that, though. I know that that is something that the team has expressed interest in trying to do, but I have not heard anything specifically as to kind of what the time frame for that work is. I think it will be happening, frankly, sooner rather than later, but what exactly that means, I don't really know.
A cacophony of whirring machinery echoes up from below. The elevator gate is locked tight.
So yes, there will be a little bit of new rewards for Night Revels, in addition to a new Night Revels cosmetic armor. We have a few new items that are going to be available through the barter vendor. It's not super duper brand new this year. They are more kind of variants on existing opportunities, but I think people are going to dig it anyway, because the things are pretty good. So there we are. And I know I'm being kind of vague, but Alright, so we have the sword socket to do. Oh, there we
As
go.
the
Cool.
fort door opens, you can hear frightened whispers ahead.
Any news on Keep on the Borderlands? Not particularly, other than, you know, internally, it's being worked on a lot right now. That is the core of what we're doing right now. So the development team is hard at work getting ready for, say, Bull Roar previews and all that, or not Bull Roar, Lamania previews and all that for Keep on the Borderlands.
So 3 bars from a pale master walk into a quest, and that's all good.
Alright, we good?
So, you're the ones disrupting my operations. You look so tough.
The half-orc collapses from his injuries with a wordless moan.
No, I don't think we are doing a Night Revels preview this year on Lamania. I think it's really just kind of a timing thing and isn't honestly
Torture equipment and strange machinery fills this
100%
room.
necessary.
You open
I think
the
it was
gate,
really just more of a
but the
timing thing though,
Warforged
because we
trapped
want to
inside
do it
don't seem
next
to
week and
notice.
it's basically ready to go. So
You open the prison gate. Several Warforged murmur thanks as they bolt for the door, yet others just stand there, motionless.
Growler, if there are any of the SSG devs who are currently on the Reaper or Favor leaderboards for the Hardcore League, they are not speaking up. I can tell you with 100% accuracy that I am not, and probably, unfortunately, will never be. On the leaderboards. I don't think so. But holy gamoly. Some of the people, when you look at the hardcore leaderboards right now, you're just like, how? You know? Alright, we should be able to tear through the offshore account here pretty quick. So, Hipperin, the highest level character I've had is level 6. And I know that's pathetic. It is, unfortunately, the reality. I have learned very quickly. And you can, like I say, you could find out on DDO Cast this past weekend here. I
David
learned very
Shelby's
quickly that
apartment is up inside this
I guess
tower.
I do suck,
He
because
claims to
I
have
sure am not doing
information
so
about
great on the
Fathom and
Hardcore
others
League.
for sale.
Although, every time I'm doing better.
You've arrived
so,
just outside of
that's
David
cool.
Shelby's home. There's just one small hitch. A pair of goons stand guard at the door, glaring in your direction. You hear
Just hit
grunts
level
and
7,
snarls
and I'm
beyond the
feeling
door.
confident,
Thugs have been
feeling
guarded.
strong, feel like I'm gonna hit that 1750 favor in level 20. Ran Shantakora last night and did just fine. So,
The thugs ransacked this apartment while leaving all the other
I'm
homes
currently
left
playing
untouched.
a
They
War
must have
Domain
been after
Cleric.
something specific.
Again, if you want to really hear a
This
little bit more
corpse
about that,
matches
you
the
can on
description of David
DDO
Shelby.
Cast from Sunday.
And yet there's no sign of how he died. Perhaps there's a clue inside his apartment that points to the information he promised you. You've learned that David had a safe house hidden in a water purification plant down by the Sharn docks. David Shelby lies lifeless on his bed, yet there's still a chance you can find the blackmail information he promised you. You need to catch a sky coach, head down to the docks, and find his safe house.
How did I die? I've died a couple of different ways. Really what it's been is spike damage is ultimately what I'd say I've died from. Spike damage and idiocy on my part. There was one where I was running, I guess it was Elite Waterworks, and I was level 6, and you would think that would be fine, except that it wasn't. And what ended up happening is we were getting ready to rescue Arlos, and I was fighting just kind of kobolds from the prison back and doing generally fine. Shaman came up from the other side, held me, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, really was nothing I could do about that. That was, I've died really on idiocy in regard to a trap, I think, but mostly it's just kind of been, there's one, I guess we did a Reaper one, that we should not have done. But for the most part, in recent deaths, it's really just been outlier spike damage or something I just truly can't blame on anything but myself. So I've been finding personally, you know, what you want to run and all that's going to be a lot of personal taste. I have found kind of been gravitating toward two. One is a War Domain Cleric, and then the other has been a
single sky coach is
rogue.
docked nearby.
Assassin
Its
rogue or
pilot
something.
cowers
Whatever.
before a group of
The
malevolent
amount of rogue is the important thing. What kind of rogue it is to be a little secondary. For me, it was a mechanic, although I think I would do Inquisitor if I do want to get it. Which I won't do
Gemma the Boulder drops
if I
in
have
the
my
sea.
way, because my War Domain Cleric's going to get me all the way I need to go.
Break-in?
She rasps.
There wasn't supposed to be a body.
The pilot agrees to bring you down to the docks. Just board his sky coach, and you'll be on your way. You disembark the sky coach at the water purification facility. A
The
guard
reason
at the
I'm
door
doing War
lazily
Domain
raises
Cleric
an
is
arm to
I
warn
personally
you
have
off.
always been kind of a cleric player. You gotta
You
keep people
convinced the
alive
guard
on
to open the
hardcore,
gate.
and
Now
so
to search
it's
for
been
David
just
Shelby's
made
safe
sense to
house.
be a cleric. I've largely gone War Domain for two reasons, as opposed to say going Paladin with Sacred Defender or something like that. I have been going War Domain Cleric with a focus on the Radiant Servant enhancement tree. And what I've been able to do is basically take care of my
giant
DPS
crayfish
and
stands near the
armor
open
needs,
waterway.
really with War Domain,
Oddly
right?
enough, it wears a metal helmet and holds a key in one of its pincers. As you approach, thoughts suddenly barge
With
into
War
your
Domain, you
head.
get unlock the
You don't look
ability
like
to
an
get
exterminator.
all exotic weapon
Maybe you can help me.
proficiencies. And
The
so what
telepathic
that's allowed me
crayfish
to do
asks you
is
for
not have
help.
to spend an exotic
It
proficiency
seems an
feat or get
Odiog
it some
has
other
taken
way.
up
It
residence
also has
nearby and
freed
is
up my
determined to make the
enhancement
crayfish's
tree.
next meal.
So that rather than investing in points that I might otherwise do for some of that stuff, I can devote it to Radiant Servant. Particularly things like Divine Healing is real nice in the hardcore. All the auras and all that, although I haven't yet unlocked the aura. I've got the burst now, things like that. On top of that, because I've been doing a cleric, I've been focusing, and because of the nature of the content, it's been real nice to do a lot of kind of turning of undead. So I took as feat choices, rather than having to worry about exotics and stuff, I took improved turning and a couple other things that are related to that. So I've been able to really have regenerating turn undeads that are used for Radiant Servant abilities and healing and things like that, while not having to invest really any kind of worries about Kopesh or Dwarven Axe or Bastard Sword. I can just take whichever one of those things really comes along in a chest and has the best properties and be pretty comfortable in my position. Ability to at least kind of get done what I need to get done. So that's really why I've been kind of going board with me. Now, the big thing that I've not been able to do, and the biggest challenge so far I've run into on the Hardcore League has been traps, of course. When I'm a cleric, unless I've got a rogue or someone with me in the party, I've been having to do some rogue kind of hireling work to get through a few specific areas, like Chanticleer, things like that. And so, and there's just no room in this build for any kind of, you know, trap smithing. Just not going to happen. So. But it's worked for me. I don't know. Well, has it worked for me? I guess that's debatable. It seems to be working for me.
A
and I am currently level 7.
Even before you open the gate. No doubt you found the Odiug's lair.
I actually did do, during one of those lives, Loaf Beef, a Warforged Renegade Master Maker, as you described. And I liked it a lot. The only reason I haven't kind of considered along that path is just because I like my clerics.
You've reduced the Odiug to an oozing pile of flesh. The crayfish scuttles over to the locked door, and you feel it tug in your mind as he beckons you telepathically.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the Renegade Master Maker as well. I don't even know if I'd really played one before. Maybe I did.
You suddenly realize that the odd telepathic crayfish holds the soul of your supposedly dead informant, David Shelby. As a final request, David gives you the key to his safe house and asks you to let him inside.
But we're kind of
A
getting skunked on the
well-stocked,
loot here.
comfortably furnished room lies behind the locked door. The crayfish crawls inside, clacking happily.
All right, so thanks
once
Cassandra
again feel
and
the telltale
Oratium
tug of
and
telepathic
Clover,
influence.
Oratium and
The
Clover
information
to
you
join me here
flashes
today. I'll
into
get
your
you
brain.
a DDO
Fathom
points code in the
Endeavors has a
in-game mail a
secret
little bit
base
later on
beneath Sharn's
this
Harbor.
afternoon, I think.
This
Thank you very much,
underground
everyone, for
base
watching the
must be
Weekly
the
Wednesday
source of
Lunchtime
all the
live stream.
soul
I'll be back
stealers,
next
and where
Wednesday
Fathom is
with
keeping the
more.
stolen souls of the
And
Warforged.
like I say, stay tuned for a little
It
bit of news
sounds
about
like an
kind of a
adventure
patch
beneath
next
the
week and a
waves
few
is
other
next
things
on
I've
the
got
agenda.
going on as well. 5% Reaper XP boost this weekend for DDO bonus days kicks off tomorrow, late morning Eastern time. You can find our full schedule over on twitch.tv/DDO stream. Samus Garobo's up next. Bye-bye. Have a good time.